There was a time when the American West ruled the silver screen. Cowboys became household names, their faces filled movie posters, and millions of fans watched them ride across dusty frontiers in theaters across the country. Today, many of those legends rest in places that are surprisingly quiet. Their films helped define an era of Hollywood, but their names are no longer spoken as often, and their final resting places receive far less attention than those of the stars who came after them. In this video, we're taking a journey through 15 forgotten Western movie icons whose stories deserve to be remembered. We'll visit the cemeteries where they now rest, look back at the careers that made them famous, and discover how some of Hollywood's greatest cowboys slowly faded from the public eye. Because while the applause eventually faded, the stories they left behind never truly disappeared. Number 1. William S. Hart. Long before John Wayne or Clint Eastwood became symbols of the American West, William S. Hart helped define what a cowboy hero looked like on the big screen. Today, however, he rests quietly beneath a family monument in Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, New York, far from the dusty landscapes that made him famous. Born in 1864, Hart first built a successful career on the stage before entering silent films in his late 40s. His breakthrough came with The Bargain in 1914, launching a remarkable career that quickly made him one of the biggest stars of early Hollywood. Unlike many Western actors of his era, he portrayed serious, flawed men guided by honor rather than flashy heroes. His realistic approach helped shape the Western genre for generations that followed. As movie audiences embraced faster-paced and more glamorous Westerns during the 1920s, Hart's quieter style gradually fell out of favor. His final major film, Tumbleweeds, became a fitting farewell before he retired to his ranch in California, where he spent the rest of his life surrounded by his collection of Western art and memorabilia. William S. Hart died in 1946 at the age of 81. Although film historians still recognize his enormous influence, many modern visitors pass his grave without realizing they are standing before one of the true pioneers of the Western film. The man who helped create Hollywood's first cowboy legend now rests in near silence, while the legacy he left behind continues to ride across the screen. Number 2. Carey. Before the Western had become Hollywood's most iconic genre, Carey was already one of its biggest stars. Today he rests at Woodlawn Memorial Cemetery in Santa Monica, California, where his grave is quiet compared to the lasting influence he had on American cinema. Born in New York City in 1878, Carey originally dreamed of becoming a lawyer. An accident changed the course of his life, leading him to the stage before he entered silent films. His career transformed after meeting legendary director John Ford, who cast him in dozens of westerns. Together, they helped shape the foundation of the genre long before Hollywood's golden age. Unlike many actors of his time, Carey played cowboys who felt genuine and relatable. His characters were tough but compassionate, often guided by loyalty rather than revenge. Audiences admired his calm presence, and for years he ranked among the most recognizable faces in silent Western cinema. As sound films arrived and a new generation of stars emerged, Carey gradually moved into supporting roles. Even so, he remained active in Hollywood and appeared in several acclaimed films during the 1930s and 1940s, proving that his talent extended far beyond the silent era. Carey died in 1947 at the age of 69. Although dedicated Western fans still remember his remarkable partnership with John Ford, many visitors pass his grave without realizing they are standing before one of the men who helped build the Western from the very beginning. His name may no longer be familiar to most moviegoers, but his influence can still be seen in nearly every classic cowboy film that followed. Number 3. Ken Maynard. During the 1920s, few Western stars were as popular as Ken Maynard. Known for his fearless riding skills and spectacular stunts, he became one of Hollywood's highest-paid cowboy actors. Today, however, he rests quietly at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where many visitors walk past without recognizing his name or the impact he had on early Western cinema. Born in Indiana in 1895, Maynard grew up around horses and became an accomplished rider long before entering films. His natural athletic ability made him a perfect fit for westerns, and he quickly earned a reputation for performing many of his own dangerous stunts. Audiences also loved his famous horse, Tarzan, who became almost as well known as he was. Together they appeared in dozens of successful films, turning Maynard into one of the biggest cowboy stars of both the silent era and the early years of sound films. As Hollywood evolved, however, his career slowly declined. Competition from younger Western heroes, changing audience tastes, and personal struggles gradually pushed him out of the spotlight. The man who had once filled theaters across America found fewer leading roles, and his fame steadily faded with time. Ken Maynard died in 1973 at the age of 77. While dedicated Western fans still recognize his contribution to the genre, many modern moviegoers have never heard his name. Yet his influence lives on through the daring horseback action, realistic stunt work, and adventurous spirit that became defining features of classic cowboy films for generations. Number 4. Hoot Gibson. For more than 2 decades, Hoot Gibson was one of the most recognizable cowboy stars in Hollywood. With his easygoing personality, remarkable riding skills, and natural charm, he appeared in over 200 films and became a favorite of audiences across America. Today, however, he rests quietly at Inglewood Park Cemetery in California, where relatively few visitors realize they are standing before one of the genre's earliest superstars. Born in Nebraska in 1892, Gibson grew up working with horses and livestock, experiences that later gave his Western performances an authenticity audiences appreciated. Before becoming an actor, he competed in rodeos and even won major riding competitions. Those real-life skills helped him stand out in silent films, where he performed many of his own stunts and brought genuine cowboy experience to the screen. Unlike the serious Western heroes of his era, Gibson often added humor and warmth to his characters. His relaxed style made him enormously popular throughout the 1920s, and for a time he was among the highest-paid Western actors in Hollywood. However, changing audience tastes, financial problems during the Great Depression, and the rise of newer cowboy stars gradually pushed him out of leading roles. Hoot Gibson died in 1962 at the age of 70. While Western historians continue to recognize his importance, his name has largely faded from public memory, yet his influence can still be seen in the blend of action, humor, and authentic horsemanship that became a lasting part of classic Hollywood westerns. Number 5. Tim McCoy. During the golden age of Western films, Tim McCoy stood out as one of Hollywood's most authentic cowboy stars. His military background, exceptional horsemanship, and knowledge of the American West gave his performances a realism that few actors could match. Today he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where many visitors pass by without realizing they are near one of the pioneers of the Western genre. Born in Michigan in 1891, McCoy served in the U.S. Army before entering the film industry. His experience working with Native American tribes and his impressive riding skills caught the attention of Hollywood producers, leading to a successful acting career during the silent era. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, he starred in dozens of westerns, earning a reputation for portraying honorable, courageous heroes rather than reckless gunfighters. Unlike many actors who relied solely on movie magic, McCoy brought real frontier knowledge to his films. He often advised productions on authentic Western customs and Native American traditions, helping create stories that felt more believable. At the height of his career, he was one of the most respected cowboy stars in Hollywood. As the Western genre evolved and younger actors took center stage, McCoy's popularity gradually faded. He later worked in circus entertainment, military service during World War II, and television before retiring from the spotlight. Tim McCoy died in 1978 at the age of 86. Although his name is no longer widely recognized by modern audiences, his dedication to authenticity helped shape the image of the American cowboy for generations, leaving behind a legacy that deserves far more recognition than his quiet grave receives today. Number 6. Johnny Mack Brown. Before becoming one of Hollywood's most dependable cowboy heroes, Johnny Mack Brown had already achieved fame as a college football star. His athletic ability, confident screen presence, and natural charm helped him build a remarkable career that spanned more than 3 decades. Today he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where his grave receives far less attention than the legacy he left behind. Born in Alabama in 1904, Brown first gained national recognition as an All-American football player at the University of Alabama. After graduating, Hollywood quickly noticed his strong appearance and cast him in silent films. Although he appeared in several major productions early in his career, he found his greatest success starring in westerns during the 1930s and 1940s. Audiences admired his honest, dependable characters who always stood for courage, justice, and integrity. Unlike many cowboy stars, Brown successfully adapted from silent films to talking pictures, allowing him to remain a familiar face while many of his contemporaries faded from the screen. Over the years, he appeared in well over 100 films, becoming one of the most recognizable Western actors of his generation. Johnny Mack Brown died in 1974 at the age of 69. While devoted Western fans still remember his long and successful career, his name is now unfamiliar to many modern moviegoers. Yet his contributions helped keep the classic Hollywood Western alive for decades, ensuring that his influence continues long after the applause faded. Number 7. Bob Steele. For more than 40 years, Bob Steele remained one of Hollywood's most familiar faces in Western films. Though he never reached the superstar status of some of his contemporaries, his consistency, athleticism, and rugged screen presence earned him a loyal following. Today, he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, California, where few visitors recognize the remarkable career of this forgotten cowboy legend. Born in Oregon in 1907, Steele entered the film industry as a teenager alongside his twin brother under the guidance of their father, director Robert North Bradbury. His athletic build and impressive horsemanship quickly made him a natural fit for westerns. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, he starred in dozens of low-budget cowboy films, becoming one of the most reliable leading men of the era. Audiences admired his fearless action scenes, quick draw, and honest, straightforward characters. Unlike many Western stars, whose careers disappeared with changing trends, Steele successfully reinvented himself as a respected supporting actor. Younger audiences later recognized him in major productions such as Rio Bravo, proving that his talent extended far beyond the B-westerns that first made him famous. Bob Steele died in 1988 at the age of 81. Although his name has largely faded from public memory, his extraordinary career of more than 200 film appearances helped preserve the popularity of the classic Hollywood Western. His grave may now stand in quiet surroundings, but his contribution to the genre continues to be appreciated by devoted Western fans around the world. Number 8. Tex Ritter. Tex Ritter was more than just a cowboy actor. He became one of the greatest singing stars in Western film history. His deep voice, warm personality, and memorable performances made him a favorite with audiences for decades. Today, he rests at Oakwood Memorial Park Cemetery in Chatsworth, California, where many visitors are unaware that one of country music and Hollywood's earliest legends lies there. Born in Texas in 1905, Ritter originally studied law before realizing his true passion was performing. After finding success on stage, he moved to Hollywood, where his ability to combine acting with traditional cowboy songs quickly set him apart. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, he starred in dozens of Western films, often singing around campfires or on horseback, helping create the image of the singing cowboy that became immensely popular across America. As television and musical tastes changed, Ritter gradually shifted his focus toward country music. His recording career flourished, and he became one of the genre's most respected voices. His song High Noon, Do Not Forsake Me, won an Academy Award and remains one of the most iconic Western songs ever recorded, further securing his place in entertainment history. Tex Ritter died in 1974 at the age of 68. While his son, actor John Ritter, became a household name for a new generation, Tex's own remarkable career is now often overlooked. Yet his influence on both Western films and country music continues to live on, even as his grave remains a quiet reminder of a pioneer whose voice once echoed across America's movie screens. Number 9. George O'Brien. Before John Wayne became Hollywood's most famous cowboy, George O'Brien was already one of the biggest stars of the Western genre. With his strong screen presence, athletic ability, and quiet confidence, he captivated audiences throughout the silent era and successfully continued his career into the age of sound films.
Today, he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where many visitors pass by without recognizing one of early Hollywood's forgotten Western legends.
Born in California in 1899, O'Brien first worked as a stuntman before his impressive physique and natural charisma caught the attention of filmmakers. His breakthrough came when legendary director F.W. Murnau cast him in the acclaimed silent classic Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans. Although the film became one of cinema's greatest masterpieces, O'Brien later found his greatest commercial success, starring in dozens of westerns during the 1930s and 1940s, where audiences admired his courageous and honorable cowboy characters. Beyond acting, O'Brien proudly served his country during World War II, leaving Hollywood for military service before returning to the screen afterward. His dedication both on and off the screen earned him the respect of fellow actors and fans alike. George O'Brien died in 1985 at the age of 85. While his name is no longer widely recognized by modern audiences, his contributions helped bridge the silent era and the golden age of Western films. His quiet grave stands as a reminder of a pioneer whose influence continues to live on in the history of American cinema. Number 10. Wild Bill Elliott. Wild Bill Elliott became one of Hollywood's most beloved cowboy heroes by portraying characters who stood for honesty, courage, and justice. With his calm demeanor, deep voice, and unmistakable Western style, he appeared in nearly 100 films and inspired generations of fans. Today, he rests at Alhambra Cemetery in Alhambra, California, where few visitors realize they are standing before one of the last great stars of the classic B-Western era. Born Gordon Nance in Missouri in 1904, Elliott began his acting career in the late 1920s before adopting the screen name Wild Bill after portraying the legendary lawman Wild Bill Hickok. The role proved so successful that the nickname stayed with him for the rest of his career. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, he became one of the most dependable Western leading men, starring alongside his famous horse and earning a loyal following for his strong moral characters who always defended the innocent. Unlike many Western actors whose popularity faded quickly, Elliott remained a familiar face as the genre evolved. His films emphasized integrity and fairness over violence, making him especially popular with family audiences. Even as television began replacing movie serials, he continued performing before eventually retiring from Hollywood. Wild Bill Elliott died in 1965 at the age of 61. Although his name has largely disappeared from modern popular culture, Western enthusiasts still recognize him as one of the genre's defining cowboy heroes. His quiet grave reflects how time can fade even the brightest stars, but his legacy continues to live on through the classic Western films that introduced generations of viewers to the spirit of the American frontier. Number 11. Tom Tyler. Tom Tyler earned his place among Hollywood's earliest Western heroes through his athletic ability, rugged appearance, and remarkable versatility. Best remembered for his cowboy films, he also became famous for portraying comic book characters on the big screen. Today, he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where few visitors recognize the lasting impact he had on early American cinema. Born in New York in 1903, Tyler was an accomplished athlete before entering Hollywood. His impressive physique and natural horsemanship quickly made him a leading man in silent westerns, and throughout the 1920s and 1930s he starred in dozens of cowboy films. Audiences admired his fearless action scenes and dependable characters, who consistently stood for courage, honesty, and justice on the frontier. Unlike many Western actors, Tyler successfully expanded beyond cowboy roles. In 1940, he became the first actor to portray Captain Marvel in the classic movie Serial Adventures of Captain Marvel, a performance that remains highly regarded by film historians. He also appeared as the terrifying mummy Carey in The Mummy's Hand, proving his ability to succeed in entirely different genres. Tom Tyler died in 1954 at the age of 50. Although his career was cut short by illness, his contributions to both westerns and early superhero cinema continue to be appreciated by classic film enthusiasts. While his grave remains quiet today, his legacy lives on through the pioneering roles that helped shape two of Hollywood's most enduring genres. Number 12. Lash LaRue. Few Western stars were as instantly recognizable as Lash LaRue. Armed with his trademark bullwhip instead of a traditional six-shooter, he created one of the most unique cowboy personas in Hollywood history. During the 1940s and 1950s, children across America admired his daring adventures. Today, he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, California, where his grave receives far less attention than the unforgettable character he brought to the screen. Born Alfred LaRue in Louisiana in 1917, he first worked as a performer before breaking into Western films. His breakthrough came when producers realized his incredible skill with a bullwhip could set him apart from every other cowboy actor. Rather than relying solely on gunfights, Lash LaRue became famous for disarming villains with remarkable precision, giving audiences an exciting new kind of Western hero. He went on to star in dozens of films and became one of the most popular B-Western actors of his generation. His popularity eventually declined as television changed the entertainment industry, and traditional Westerns became less dominant. Although his time as a leading man came to an end, his distinctive image remained a favorite among devoted Western fans and collectors of classic cowboy films. Lash LaRue died in 1996 at the age of 78. While his name is no longer familiar to many modern audiences, his innovative style left a lasting mark on the Western genre. His quiet grave stands as a reminder of a cowboy who proved that sometimes a whip could become just as legendary as a revolver. Number 13. Jack Horsey. During the silent film era, Jack Horsey was one of Hollywood's most admired cowboy stars. His commanding presence, exceptional riding skills, and rugged image made him a favorite with audiences at a time when Westerns dominated movie theaters across America. Today, he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where few visitors realize they are standing before one of the genre's earliest leading men. Born in Oklahoma in 1885, Horsey developed a love for horses and the outdoors from an early age. Before entering films, he worked in traveling Wild West shows, where he refined the riding and roping skills that later became his trademark on screen. He entered Hollywood during the silent era and quickly rose to fame, starring in dozens of successful westerns throughout the 1920s. Audiences admired his fearless action scenes, authentic cowboy style, and strong sense of justice that defined many of his characters. As sound films transformed the movie industry, Horsey struggled to maintain the popularity he had enjoyed during the silent era. Younger stars gradually replaced him, and his once thriving career slowly came to an end. Although he occasionally returned to the screen in smaller roles, he never again reached the fame he had once known. Jack Horsey died in 1965 at the age of 80. While his name has largely faded from public memory, his work helped establish many of the traditions that later defined the classic Hollywood Western. His quiet grave serves as a reminder of a pioneer whose contributions deserve far greater recognition than they receive today. Number 14. Sunset Carson. During the 1940s, Sunset Carson became one of Hollywood's most popular singing cowboys. With his warm smile, powerful voice, and heroic screen presence, he starred in dozens of Western films and built a loyal following among families across America. Today, he rests at Memory Gardens Memorial Park in Corpus Christi, Texas, where few visitors recognize the man who once helped keep the classic Western alive during its golden years. Born Winifred Morris Harrison in Oklahoma in 1920, Carson developed a love for music and horses at an early age. After working as a rodeo performer and singer, he made his way to Hollywood, where producers quickly saw his potential as both an actor and entertainer. Throughout the 1940s, he appeared in numerous westerns, often combining action, comedy, and traditional cowboy songs. His wholesome image and genuine personality made him one of the era's most beloved B-Western stars. As television replaced many low-budget Western films, Carson's career gradually slowed. Although he continued performing at Western festivals and public appearances, the fame he once enjoyed steadily faded as Hollywood moved in new directions. Even so, he remained devoted to preserving the spirit of the classic cowboy throughout his later years. Sunset Carson died in 1990 at the age of 70. While modern audiences rarely remember his name, classic Western fans still appreciate the joy and optimism he brought to the screen. His quiet grave serves as a reminder of a performer who helped introduce generations of moviegoers to the timeless values of the American West. Number 15. Kermit Maynard. Although he never achieved the same level of fame as his older brother Ken Maynard, Kermit Maynard built an impressive career of his own and became a familiar face in Hollywood westerns for more than 2 decades. With his dependable screen presence and exceptional horsemanship, he earned the respect of audiences who appreciated classic cowboy adventures. Today he rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, where few visitors recognize one of the hard-working stars who helped keep the Western genre alive. Born in Indiana in 1897, Maynard was an accomplished horseman long before entering the film industry. After serving in the United States Army during World War I, he followed his brother into Hollywood. While comparisons to Ken were unavoidable, Kermit gradually established his own identity through dozens of Western films during the 1930s and 1940s. He became known for portraying honest, courageous cowboys who relied on determination and integrity rather than flashy heroics. As the popularity of B-Westerns declined after World War II, leading roles became increasingly scarce. Maynard continued appearing in supporting parts before quietly retiring from the film industry. Though he never became one of Hollywood's biggest celebrities, his steady career reflected the dedication of an actor who helped entertain audiences throughout the golden years of Western cinema. Kermit Maynard died in 1971 at the age of 73. While his name is now unfamiliar to most modern moviegoers, his contributions remain an important part of classic Western history. His quiet grave stands as a fitting reminder of a dependable cowboy star whose legacy deserves to be remembered alongside the pioneers who shaped the American West on screen. The legends we've remembered today may no longer dominate movie screens, but they helped build the foundation of the Western genre that inspired generations of filmmakers and actors. While many of their graves now stand in quiet cemeteries, their courage, talent, and unforgettable performances continue to live on through the classic films they left behind. If you enjoyed discovering these forgotten Hollywood pioneers, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next journey into the untold stories of cinema's greatest legends. Until next time, thank you for watching.